roaring fire, fuzzy blanket, piping hot beverage. This is comfy. But it's not maximum comfy. No, there's still something missing from that equation. Yes, a comfy game. I'm not talking about a relaxing game or a stress-free game or even a game with a warm motif. I'm talking about, well, a comfy game. I don't know how else to say it. Surely you know what I'm talking about, don't you? A comfy game is like a grilled cheese sandwich. Simple, predictable, a little escape from the complexities of modern life. You may forget it exists for a time, but you always come back to it, and it's always just as satisfying as you remember. A comfy game is nostalgic. As a child, maybe you unwrapped a new game or system at Christmas time. Maybe it was Banjo-Kazooie. You can't help but associate those bright, colorful visuals, that whimsical soundtrack, the mumbles of a character speaking with the delight of Christmas as you experienced it in childhood. Christmas will never be the same as it once was, but by invoking that same sensory stimulation just as you remember it, you can commune with those memories. The spirit of that childlike wonder returns, and the stresses of adulthood disperse, if only for a short while. A comfy game is a safe game, but not always. For our purposes, the highs are defined by the lows. A warm cabin is comfy. A warm cabin in the midst of a blizzard is maximum comfy. How can one appreciate the faint light of a campfire without the surrounding threat of darkness for which it's lit to vanquish? A town by itself is hardly comfy, but reaching a town after battling scores of monsters in the wilderness is comfy defined. Cold and soaked from a rainstorm, could there be anything comfier than the warmth of a bed at the village inn? Or the crackling of a fireplace at the town pub? If you've ever felt a vague and undefined sense of bliss accompanying such experiences, then I tell you, friend, you've been very comfy. A comfy game is predictable. The insistence that a game must constantly offer new possibilities, choices, and variety in order to be replayable is a most anti-comfy philosophy indeed. If an experience in itself justifies a replay, then you've become rich in comfiness. And that's worth all the panned gold in Fairbanks, my friend. There's a time for fearless adventuring, and there's a time for respite. Knowing a location better than your hometown, familiar with the locals, building a future on your own plot of land, sparks within you a deep sense of satisfaction you can only identify as comfy. A comfy game is as eager to embrace a warm summer night as it is for a chilly winter's day. There's a time to bundle up, appreciating the stillness of a forest in winter, and there's a time to cast a fishing line into the creek, soothed by the buzzing of the cicadas, bright lights of the big city a mere glimmer on the horizon. There are people to see and things to do, but for now, let's just be comfy. A comfy game forgives your mistakes. Stress is not in its lexicon. It may confront you with problems to solve or obstacles to overcome. After all, a victory condition drives us forward, but it offers slack so that you may become one with its atmosphere and not overburdened with its demands. It's okay to slip up. That's what creativity is all about. You're here to build, not destroy. Don't lament a defective build or spend your time reading a convoluted walkthrough. Take a sippy of some hot chalky and move forward with intention. This is your time, and it's time to be comfy. Comfiness is not a mood. It's not an attitude. Comfy is a state of being, an oasis for the weary traveler of life's path. How far you've traveled isn't important. What's important is that your spirit is rejuvenated in the wellspring that we call comfy time. So next time the day is gray and you feel dismayed at all the ways in which life is in disarray, at home you'll stay, pouring yourself a mug of Earl Grey and playing those comfy games that remind you everything will be okay.